Hello, friends. I hope you are doing well. Happy, what is it? Tuesday. Of course, it's Tuesday. That's why I'm here. Happy Tuesday. You'll have to excuse the kind of stark contrast of bright sunlight and then shadow, but the sun is, you know, moving and doing its thing. So the shadows will kind of shift and pass. Hi, Slavi. Hi, Miranda. I hope you both are doing well. I decided 20 minutes before stream to mad rush clean my office and vacuum and dust, and then I was like, what am I doing? I start streaming in 20 minutes. So while I was fine wearing this kind of it's a lightweight sweatshirt, I would say. I was fine wearing it before. Now I'm hot. I may have to go do a wardrobe change during our first sprint, but we'll see. I coordinated my purple glasses. They're purple and pink. Oh man, this sun's gonna be brutal today. It's hard to see, but they're kind of like a light lavender purple that fades into a peachy pink. And I was like, ooh, I'll wear these cute new glasses with my purple sweater. And then we've got our purple background of our cafe here. So I was like, let me be coordinated. And I've got my Muse mug. Thank you, Slavi. Yeah, I never do fun glasses, at least fun colors. I'll do some more kind of fun, funky shapes, but I always stick to brown, black, or clear, or just basic tortoiseshell gold glasses. And I've gotten a couple fun colors. So now that I've cleaned my office, there's still a bunch of dust kind of kicking up around in the air, and I can see it with the sunlight streaming, and it's very distracting. Hi, Havron. Thank you, Miranda. I think they're really cute as well. I hope you're doing really well, Havron. So today, I think we should get into our first sprint. I have to be a little careful about the timing of my streams and not going too far over, because I got an alert from StreamYard, which is what I stream through, what I use to stream. I got an alert from StreamYard saying I'm approaching my monthly limit. So we can stream over today if we'd like, but I only get 20 hours of streaming a month. And with my Tuesday and Sundays, and then virtual writing or double down day streams, I think I will either be at or exceed the 20 hours, depending on how many Tuesdays and Sundays fall in a given month. Like for September, I have exactly 20 hours of stream scheduled. So I may have to cut a few of them 5 minutes short just to make sure I don't go over for the month. I was looking at the plans and packages, and I don't want to pay for it. I really don't. Especially because I'm not making money on YouTube. So if I was earning some sort of ad revenue or something from YouTube or had a membership, I could maybe justify the StreamYard cost, but I can't justify it right now. Thank you, Slava. Yes, it's been rough. My new glasses, I used my flexible spending account from my old state job because my account had almost $800 in it. So, and it was, if you don't use it, you lose it. So I got a bunch of new glasses. Hi, Tired Mama. I hope you're doing well. Working on the legal side of things. Taxes. You're an artist, not an accountant. Oof. I make my husband do my taxes because I can't. Taxes give me anxiety. I wish you luck. And I'm happy to be here and co-work alongside you while you're kind of slogging through that. That's rough. Yeah, Slavi, I feel that. I feel that as well. Miranda says, "Totally understandable, you also have the free package." Yeah. I didn't know that they limited, your stream hours until I got an email the other day warning me that I was approaching my limit or whatever. So, but with that, I say let's jump into our first sprint and get started for the morning. Slavi says, "Once you start bringing in author income, you have every intention of hiring an accountant." Yes, as you should. I feel like it also gets pretty complicated. Like, I'm not sure if you're in Sarah's Publish and Thrive class, but this last module, there were lots of kind of legal questions, and man, that module always kind of makes my head spin a bit. So I think hiring an accountant is an excellent idea. All right. Let's jump into our first sprint. I'm going to mute myself. That way you can either work in silence or play your own music. And I will see you in 25 minutes. All right. That is the end of our first sprint. Let me know what all of you got up to. I was working on a whole myriad of things. I was first updating my HB90 planner, which is my Erin Condren dashboard layout. So I was updating some things that I did yesterday, some other things that I would like to do this week. And then my Kanban board still had everything from July on it in the rough draft challenge. So I put, what I like to do is set a Kanban board monthly instead of quarterly. Quarterly is too much time for me. And so obviously life often happens and things don't, planning 3 months out is hard. And I like to do my Kanban boards monthly. And what I do, Erin Condren gives you a kind of back page at the end of every month before the tabbed next month starts. So this is the last day of November, and it's just a lined page. You can kind of see the lines there. And what I like to do with that back page is to use it to keep track of what did and did not get done on my Kanban board. So this side is my done. This side is my not done. And blue is my YouTube, yellow is writing, and then red is fitness. So you can see very clearly what did and did not get done for July. Let me see. Here was my May Kanban board tasks. So you can see here for the month of April, I did not get any writing things done. So I like to just have that visual of what I do and don't get done each month. And it's nice to be able to reflect on it. So I got my sticky notes put into my Kanban section, and then I was working on my writing planner. So I keep a planner just for writing, and I also loosely keep track of writing stuff in my everyday carry planner. And so sometimes I don't always have my writing planner with me, and I frequently like to write out of the house. So I'll put it in here and then transfer. And I have a decent chunk of time for writing tasks that I have recorded in here that I need to transfer over here. So I was working on that for a bit. But let's see what all of you got up to. There's lots of comments. See where I left off. Oh boy. Tired Mama says, you want to do publish and thrive as soon as you have the money. Yeah, I was really lucky, and I asked my mom if she would split the cost with me for my birthday last year or 2 years ago. So I got it, for half off. Yeah, Sarah does do payment plans, which makes it a lot more affordable. That's what Slavi did. Tired Mama says you're excited and hoping to do it next year. I hope you can join us next year. Let's see. Slavi says to Tired Mama, you're going to love it. It's what made me go all in on the author thing. You did HB90 too. It changed my life. Yeah, I really like the HB90 system. I've been an HB90 or a HB90 alum for, I want to say around 4 years. Tired Mama says, I jokingly call Sara my cult leader as I've been binge watching all of her videos and soaking in all of her lessons. Whatever she says, I accept. I mean, we're a little culty, says Slavi, in an adorably enthusiastic way. Yes, we are the nicest cult, and we are the most non-culty cult. But yeah, I talk about Sarah all the time, and my husband knows. He knows a lot about her and her videos and her courses and, all of that jazz. Miranda says Hardy's is like a cult, but a good one. I love Sarah's courses and her videos. She's so encouraging to all. I was excited about the payment plans, more so being in Canada. Yeah. Hi, Ghosty. Ghosty has joined us. I hope you're doing well. Slavi says to Miranda, agreed. Happy to see a fellow Canuck. You're in BC. Oh, that's right. Slavi, you're just north of me. I'm down in Washington State. Slavi's saying hi to Ghosty, and you're making some plotting boards. Ooh, I would love to see pictures. Put it in like the Sarah's Discord or something, or the Heart Breathings Writing Community Facebook group. Miranda lives in Saskatchewan, grew up in Ontario, and lived in Alberta for 10 years. You've been around. Ghosty says you tried getting your toddler to nap. He resisted, so you're writing scenes out of order. You got to do what you got to do. Tired Mama says you think big if you understand what an LLC is and trying to figure out a DBA. I think Sarah's, and anyone else can correct me on this, but in Publish and Thrive, I think Sarah does go into some of that information, which I know doesn't help you immediately right now, but Slavia says DBA is doing business as. Not sure where you are, but here an LLC gets a number and you register a DBA for if you want the business to have a name. Tired Mama says, who knew self-publishing was so complicated? I know, right? You think, oh, I just write a book and publish a book. No, there's so much more. Yeah, Slavi says it's a whole module in Publish and Thrive because of the complexity. Yeah. And if you're anywhere but the US, obviously things and rules can be different. Ghosty says you've never done any of her classes yet. I would, if you're thinking of taking one from Sarah, I would think that the best one to start with would be HB90. I think that one is probably the most widely applicable for any of her viewers. And then I've only taken HB90 and Publish and Thrive. I would love to do Follow Through Fix, but I don't have the money for it right now. Sloppy says I know because I'm a creep and clock the people close to me. Let's see. Tired Mama says her husband does too. She's the family cult now. Her videos really are the reason I finished a first draft and actually pursuing publishing. That's amazing. Hi, Peter. Time to finally get back to book one for the first time in months. You've spent way too much time attending virtual writer conferences. Yeah. Sometimes it's like, oh, let me learn this, let me plan that. And then at a certain point, you just got to write. Slavi says to Tired Mama, also, did you know that your novels can become assets? You can pass them down to family members. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that either. All right. I have done enough yapping. I'm trying to decide. So yesterday I intended to film and I did not. And so today I was supposed to be drafting during sprints because in my plan, I've already filmed. Okay, Slavi says it's in PNT. I've probably missed that info somehow. And I also skipped some of the stuff that's like when you're a little further down the road, because I don't have a novel ready to be published yet. So I'm kind of waiting on some of those things until I'm at that point. But I was supposed to be filming yesterday and drafting today, and I have not filmed nor drafted. So I'm trying to decide. I might film this next sprint and try and get a jump start on that. So if you see me being weird, don't worry, I'm just filming. It's like a a video inception. I'm filming a video while streaming. Okay, it's in the estate planning module. Yeah, I definitely haven't gotten there yet. Some of that, like, more businessy stuff, formatting stuff, I haven't looked at yet just because I'm not ready to. You're deep into edits, hopefully published by the end of the year. Good luck. Well, I'm not helping you publish right now by yapping, so I'm going to mute myself. That way you can play your own music or work in silence, and I will see you in 25 minutes. Alrighty. That is the end of our, what is that, second sprint? I almost got distracted and just kept filming. I looked over and I was like, oh, right, we've got the timer going. And it was like 18 seconds or something. I was like, oh no, I gotta find a stopping point. Let's see. I am filming my September plan with me in my HB90 planner. So if you're curious what I'm up to over here, that's what I'm doing. Let's see. Slavi says, thank you. And it's okay. The manuscript is with betas. Oh, good. That's wonderful news. Ghosty's got to go. Sending all the love right back at you. I hope you have a wonderful day. Oh, okay. Well, what did all of you get up to this last sprint? Let me know what you've been working on. I think I'm going to keep filming. We'll see. Maybe I can fully get this video filmed during sprints today. That would be nice. And then I can do some drafting after. I'll eat some lunch and do some drafting. Let's see. Slavi chatted with a friend. Very nice. I was talking with my mom on the phone on yesterday. Was it just yesterday? No, Saturday. Yeah. And all of a sudden I was like, I gotta go to work. I gotta go to work now. And then I went to work and I was so distracted talking to my mom that I forgot my keys for work. So my poor husband had to drive out and bring them to me. Let's see. Miranda says, our dog needed out, so I spent half of that sprint sitting on the deck with a couple of cats. You opened your documents and you're reading through the previous chapter to find out where you left your characters. That's funny. I like that. It's like, I imagine it as like video game or movie characters. Like when you pause the game or the movie, they just kind of stand there and hang out frozen in time until you go back to them. My main character right now is frozen at the bowling alley buying or renting a pair of bowling shoes. That's where I've left him. Let's see. Tired Mama says, you have the fun task of naming your DBA. You feel like a kid coming up with all the stupid names. Hey, just write them all down. There's no stupid names. And probably the name you end up on is some combination of all of the names you've come up with that you don't pick. Yeah. Have you come up with anything fun? I feel like when I get to that point, it's going to be very hard to decide. I can't even name a book. All of my novels are just project whatever. And I don't know. I've never been able to figure out a title for any of my books. I also have a really hard time naming characters. Just naming things is hard for me. Miranda says, you have a literal colored page flags with all of your characters' names, even color-coded. Wow, that's impressive. Tired Mom says, I have a bunch of silly ideas. You're trying to find one that sounds like a legitimate company. Can I just name it after my dog? Sure, absolutely. Slavi says, I hate naming things, and I have a baby book for characters. I'll pick a first letter and start flipping. Yeah. My characters often change names like 6 times, too. I had picked out a name for this character, changed it. Now I've changed it back because I kept accidentally typing his old name. And so it's like, well, okay, your name is Brian, I guess, because I can't seem to get it out of my head. And he kind of seems like a Brian. So changing his name was a grave mistake. We're back to Brian. Peter says, doing some series plot arc management. You needed to get the premise down. Investigating a black site on the moon. Rescuing a double agent from a suicide mission. Oh, wow. That sounds like quite a book. What's your genre that you're writing? Slavi says, ugh, same. Derek, Finn, Flynn. Good thing he's a side character for now. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Alrighty. Let's jump into our third sprint. I'm going to jump back into filming and I will see you in 25 minutes. I'm going to mute myself so that you can work in silence or play your own music, though. Okay, bye for 25 minutes. that is the end of our third sprint, friends. Let me know what you got up to, what you're working on. I was filming and I am at the page or at the point where I have the calendar spread and the kind of priority to-do list spread decorated. And now I'll give you a sneak peek. So now we have the calendar spread. It's not very filled in yet. However, it will be more filled in a bit. And then we have this next kind of monthly brainstorming priorities to-do list page. So what I like to do is use this right side for brain dumping, and then I go in after my brain dumping session and fill in this side and the calendar spread. So you'll get a much better view of this on the video. However, I wanted to give you a little sneak peek now. So I have everything filmed to the point of my brain dump. So this next sprint, I will spend brain dumping all of the things I would like to do and kind of planning out my September. And then I will start filling in, like I said, that other planning page and the calendar spread. What did all of you get up to? Peter says it's a hard sci-fi space noir spy fiction. Oh, that is so fun. I love that. Yeah, Slavi says I would so read that. Yeah, me too. Miranda says you handwrote about 400 words. Bravo. Oh, thank you, Slavi. Yeah, I really like the color scheme. I'm excited for all of you to be able to see it in the video. I'm hopefully, according to my HB90 planner, I am hopefully posting it on Thursday. If I can stay on my timeline, I will be posting it on Thursday. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I hate editing. Editing for me is like the worst part of the YouTube process. I'm not a fan of it. But it's got to get done. If I had YouTube money, that would be the thing that I would spend money to do, is to pay someone to edit my videos, because I am not a fan. But it's a good skill to have, and I'm learning things. I feel like every month I learn something new, a new little trick or tip or whatever. So it's good for me to do it. It's good for me to learn more and kind of keep refining my skills with editing. So I do it. I would just rather not. Yes, that's why live streams are great. Yeah, no editing, just up it goes. The whole mess, the whole dang thing just goes up. All right. We still have a minute left in our sprint, but I'm gonna blast right through that last minute if it's all right with you guys. I want to get back to my brain dumping and keep trucking on this video. So I'm going to mute myself. That way you can play your own music or work in silence. And I will see you in 25 minutes. All right. I knew that would go right up to the end of, I knew that filming right now would go right to the end of our sprint. So thank you for hanging out with me. I almost have the video filmed, so I feel good. I've made great progress today. I want to know what all of you got up to. I filled out my 2 pages. I have some paper over this because I don't want folks to see my video ideas for September. I want that to still remain a surprise for you. But I've mostly filled out this page. Now I'm ready to go back and assign task blocks and tasks to my weekly calendar spread, or my monthly calendar spread. So I want to know what all of you got up to. Miranda says, thanks for the sprints. I finished drafting this piece and now you need to add what's originally written in the battle chapter. You're loving adding new scenes and new chapters. Oh, that's so wonderful. And you need a lunch break. Yes, I also need a lunch break. It is a little bit afternoon here, so I am hungry. When I was filming in the 2 sprints ago, I heard my tummy rumble and I was like, oh, I hope they can't hear that on camera. But I am also getting hungry for lunch. I went to Costco yesterday and got some food, so I might make myself a bagel, and I got a salad mix. So I might do bagel and salad for lunch. Sounds pretty good. Or I got some macaroni and cheese. I could make some mac and cheese and salad. I've got options. Tired Mama says, the kids are home from school, so you're done for now. Well, it was so nice to hang out with you. Thanks for stopping by. I saw my office window is right behind my computer here in front of me. And I saw the school bus go by and I was like, what the heck? School's not in session yet. School starts really late here in the Pacific Northwest. Typically does not start till after Labor Day, but because Labor Day is so late this year, school starts on September 2nd. But school always starts in September here. So when I saw the school bus, I was like, why is the school bus going by? There's no school yet. But it was just the driver, I think, practicing their route for the school year. So seeing the school bus go by made me excited. I don't have children, but I love back to school season, and because it means fall. So I like seeing the school bus go by in the summer because that means it's almost time for school to start. My Peter says your protagonist mission check-in is interrupted by his next door neighbor drunkenly knocking on his door, asking to be let in after yet another violent sounding row with her partner. Oh boy. Is that the like inciting incident? Is that how all of this kicks off? So I am gonna go because my stomach is growling again and I hope you can't hear it. But thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. I will be back again on Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. And I will probably see you before that with a new video. So, okay, it's just a complication. I see. Sounds like a good one. Kind of adds oh, I have to deal with this now that I wasn't planning on moment. So, alrighty, folks. Until next time, take care, stay safe, and I will see you real soon. Bye, everyone.